Man, I seen my cousin's vagina before. Yeah, I did. You said yeah. You said No, I saw it in a natural way, in a normal way. My cousin was pregnant. She went into labor, and she's like, hey, I need you to take me to the hospital right now. And I was like, okie dokie. But let me smoke this OG Kush real quick. You know, I'm not a woman. I don't know about labor, but I know it's going to be a long day. And I was like, let me get my mind right. So I get high real quick. And I rush her to the hospital, and now it's me, my cousin, and the doctor. And then he asked me, he says, do you want to see a baby being brought into the world? And I'm high as fuck, you know? I was like, hell yeah, dude. That's like National Geographic in real life. You know, she's got her legs in the stirrups, the clampy things. And I'm just staring at it, and staring at it, and staring at it, and nothing is happening. But then, so I look at the doctor, and I'm like, hey. And he's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. It was too soon. Yeah. I stared at my cousin's vagina for no reason at all, bro. It was, I know it was like 2 minutes, but I'm high as hell. That felt like 2 years to me. So like 20 minutes go by and the doc says, the baby's crowning now. Come back and give it a look. And I was like, I don't know, bro. Fool me once, shame on you, dude. Fool me twice, that's my cousin's pussy, bro.
Ahoy, tent pirates, plant parents, conscious consumers, and the morbidly curious. Welcome to Cultivation Conversation, a podcast for growers by growers. Come chat with our hosts, Captain Autoflower, the Real Green Monster, and myself, Girl Go Grow. Grab a bouquet of your favorite flowers, apparatus of choice, and don't forget the fire while I tell you about the special companies that help keep this ship afloat. We are busy people, and we demand the best for our plants, so all three of us automate our grows with Autopots. Available in over 63 countries, gravity-powered Autopot systems rely on no pumps, no timers, and no power to operate. This plant-driven automated watering is so precise, it will reduce consumption of feed while increasing yield. An effective and efficient way to delegate a little responsibility. Let your plants feed themselves. Use code CC10 at autopot-usa.com. If quality is the name of your game, look no further than AC Infinity. AC Infinity's grow tents, lights, accessories, and ventilation systems offer reliability and affordability along with total environmental control. Use code CULTIVATION on acinfinity.com to save even more. Frass Valley produces the highest quality superworm frass. Naturally strengthen your plants and enhance their resistance to pests and disease. Use code CC10 at frassvalley.com. We are big fans of mass hydroponics. Whether you're a local in Massachusetts or accessing their full online catalog, they are your one-stop shop for all of your growing needs. Use code CC10 at mass-hydro.com.
What is going on, everybody out there in podcast land? How are you?
What's up, bitches?
Hello, my darlings.
Welcome, welcome. Gather round the campfire, children, for we have stories to tell you about cannabis growing. And absolutely fuck all to give away. So if you're here for any sort of a promotion or a free tent or a complete grow kit, go watch another fucking show. I don't know what else to tell you. That's how we do it here, guys. Welcome. I'm getting loose. I'm getting loose tonight. I'm already this far along on one, and I'm going to be calling up for another soon. Several bongs to the face, and just feeling the flow, guys. So
feeling frisky
tonight.
Yeah, a little bit.
What's in the glass?
Oh, it's like another IPA, you know, like my IPAs. It's got like New Zealand hops. They're very white winey, like yeah, not so juicy, like more dry, but really good. So yeah, I'm pairing that with something that I'm not usually don't smoke during showtime. That neurotoxin.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's the purple pheno too, which you know my feelings about purple weed in general, right? Not my favorite.
Yeah.
But I would, you know, if someone handed me this, I would not bash it in any way. Like it's very good. Just like compared to the green shit, even the green pheno of the same strain, it's not quite as good. Personal opinion.
So the purple is better than the green in that case.
Well, I don't think so.
Oh.
I don't think so. But I'm not.
You just said that the purple. Never mind.
Like I wouldn't kick it out of bed. You know what I mean? It's not like it's not
would you
gonna.
with anything?
I mean, yeah.
Your preference. Like,
At this point, yes, I do have standards. G3. My God.
I don't know. I mean, they're on the floor with your vomit baby diaper Turk.
So no, this is a nice, like, I don't know if you can see it because it's getting light bleached, but it's very purple and very hairy. It's a really hairy one. And yeah, see what the smoke's like. It's earthy, like a lot of purple ones. I get those. I mean, I say earthy and I mean earthy, like we've said it before. Like I do mean dirt, in the best possible way. It's just not like dirt's not my preferred terp profile.
Yeah.
I can understand that.
It pairs well with certain things, you know. And, I don't mind it. There's certain strains I smoke that they're kind of a little bit like that, like the anaphylaxis has a it's very dark kind of. You get that earthy, vibe from it, earthy terps.
But yeah, no, this one's a little dangerous. I'm going to try not to overindulge. It's probably very indica, and
You probably
it
already
turns my.
overindulged, so we could.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, by any normal standards, at least. But what do you guys got tonight?
G3.
Yeah. Well, right before the show, I tried some, like 3 days into Cure Alebrije Genetics Purple Pantaranya. She is talking about purples. Ooh, look at this girl. Right somewhere here. I don't know if you can see how purple she is.
Oh, she's dried and ready. Oh yeah,
I can
yeah,
be
it's
like
coming through.
one of the people. Can you see? It's purple. It's very purple.
You got to put a black background behind it, like we've learned on a couple episodes.
She's super purple. She was really grapey in the grow. Like, you got a nose full of grape and then floral on the back end. And that grape is almost completely gone, starting in Cure. It's very interesting. But she's very, like, hibiscus and jasmine. And when I try her, she's like, she gives my mouth like a tingly feeling to it.
Oh yeah, like a Szechuan peppercorn.
Kind of like almost like menthol.
Okay.
It's interesting, like tingly.
Tingly.
She's tingly. But I don't think she's a show strain.
Those purple ones will. I mean, I'm not gonna.
She kind of sneaks up on you. I was like, oh, this is interesting. Okay, and then a second later, I was like, whoa, I'm fucked up.
and
So
for sure,
not a show strain.
purple weed tends to be effect-wise quite potent. I mean, at least for me, you know, maybe there's just something like different anthocyanins. Maybe that has some sort of effect on the high. I don't know. For all you laymen out there, anthocyanins are what turns the weed purple. It's like the same stuff as in like blackberries, like any purple food really.
The chemistry of color.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just like it's a weird thing, you know. We've kind of said it before. I think it's more a novelty, but I am very much
You might
looking
change your
forward
mind.
to trying your purple pentarania.
Yep,
So.
I can't wait.
Sounds dirty.
It's dirty.
Sounds like a dirty
She
word.
dirty.
Yeah. I have Funky Magnifera for the rest of the show, though, because that purple roar spooter, she's just untrustworthy as of yet. Maybe she'll calm
Okay.
down a little bit and cure, but we'll see.
What about you, Monster?
What about you, Master?
I just put down a can in a Pure Michigan.
Ooh,
Yeah,
those
I'm pretty
delicious
fucked up right
meat terps.
now. Yeah.
Can hear it in your voice, man. You sound nice and
Dude,
relaxed.
it's like wicked medicated right now. Feeling good.
Hell yeah. Yeah, that's one I gotta do, man. Just straight up pure Michigan. It's I also gotta do that Slurricane you've spoken so highly of, and
Yeah, you'll like it.
two that are
I
on
mean,
my
there's
bucket list.
No complaints. Don't you have like a cross as Slurricane?
I do. I do, man. It's the Diesel Frost, it's called. A cross between Slurricane number 7 and New York City Diesel from Exclusive Genetics. And man, that one's looking killer. It has a very noticeable, like a much more distinct bud shape, and like the hairs are like way thicker on that one than on all the others. I don't know if, you know, it's got to be something in the Slurricane cross, you know. It's bringing in some kind of just, you know, fun to observe these things when you grow a lot of like sour diesel and some variations on that theme. It's like they're all similar but slightly different.
Yeah. I mean, usually the bag appeal on the end product for like a lot of these sours isn't great. And I think that's why a lot of people stop growing them, because like when you trim up the buds and stuff like that, it doesn't look great on IG. It's not going to sell well in a dispensary. Like, so you don't tend to see any of these like hardcore sours around anymore, which I'm glad there's still people out there working with it, you know?
They definitely don't have that, like, I don't even know how else to describe it other than the cookies bud structure, which is that like super plump calyxes that like just kind of, it looks beautiful. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's a desirable trait for sure. Like, and adds a nice like density to the nuggets too. But like, I don't know. That's not what it's all about. But you're right. I mean, the thing with the sours, man, is you can tell, like, there's no mistaking them. And they all have a very unique look compared to a lot of other stuff I've grown. And I can only, like, it's the thumb leaves. You know what I mean by that? Like those the leaves that like stick out of the buds themselves. They're like super long and they have a lot of them. So it's like not an easy trim.
No.
But yeah, it's fuck, man.
You can beat the shit out of him in that bag of yours.
Yeah, I might have to do that. Use the BIM trag. use that BIM trag on them.
So now that you've grown this whole tent of sours, do you feel like it made you appreciate each of them in the sour category as a whole more? Would you do that again with a different category of weed?
Oh,
or
yeah.
Are you just like, or are you like, oh my God, I'm going to be
So-
sick of sours?
No, not at all. Not at all. I'm actually, like I said, I'm finding that there's way more variance in what we call sour. And even in like, I mean, I got, you know, the ones like West Coast sour from 2020 and the ones, you know, an East Coast sour diesel crossed with headband. So it's not pure East Coast sour diesel, but like, again, headband is sour diesel crossed with, fuck, I think Bubba Kush. No, something. If it's not Bubba Kush, it's something crossed with ESCD. So it's like, you know, you get a lot of diesel in there. There's way more in there than you might think. There's so much going on in some of these. I'm getting everything from like, this is gonna sound funny. Remember cucumber melon? That like Bath and Body Works smell that used to like permeate the hallways of your high school.
Yep.
Like imagine that with like this background of funk and skunk and like grapefruit rinds and like there's so many, there's a lot of nuance and it's a changing thing. Every time I go up there and I'm like, I smell something else in it.
It smells like a dirty whore.
There is a lot of melon going on and like these funky melony kind of vibes. I dig it a lot. The skunk though, okay? We got to talk about this skunk. This local skunk from Dominion. Our friend Duke Diamond. Fuck, man. It is skunky. It really is. It's like I can't exactly pick out what's going on. Like oil rags, shop grease, permanent marker.
It's gonna change a lot too after you cut it down. Like the smoke.
Tennis balls, yeah, dude. Oh my gosh. And I think right. So I've been using and we've been talking a lot about this Microbe Life Hydro product line, and that Terps Plus. Okay, been using it.
A bottle.
I cracked the bottle and been using it, and it is like this. The tent is super terpy. You know, everyone says it. Everyone will always say, "Oh, my weed's super terp." Like, no, this shit is super terpy. So I'm very happy with what's going on, except for the lack of support for my plants, like emotionally, but much more so.
Need some goddamn therapy.
Physically, they're wigging out on me up there. Like it's only we're only like 50 days into flower about. So we still have another like 3-4 weeks left, okay? And man, they're already flopping. They are already doing the lean. It's like you might think they're junkies because they do that lean over. I don't think so. It's all organic, you know. Nothing unnatural.
Need some help. You gotta get those girls some help.
So.
Well, what have you learned? Have you learned not to do this again?
Abso-fucking-lutely, monster. Like, I have learned that I will
before
never...
a year has passed.
Okay, couple things, yeah. Number one, don't over-veg, especially if you're going to transplant into the Autopot XXLs, the 9 gals, you know. The plants explode, and before you know it, they're way too big. And then when you do flip, make sure you have a fucking screen in there, like a trellis net. Okay? I will never flip to flower again without a support system for my plants in place. Like, they need this shit. Because what if shit goes wrong and they just like fall through the cracks of society and end up just flopped over like mine are right now? Like zombies in Kensington, Philadelphia.
Bridge somewhere.
And it's so hard to put them up like reactively. You got to be proactive with them, because trying to weave colas like in through trellis netting it's not ideal. I've been
Dude,
there.
there's nothing I can do, man. Nothing.
Yeah, those you can fishing line from the top of the tent, tying around.
Yeah, some yo-yos.
They make those.
I hate trellis nets.
I might try that on some.
Frog nets, all of that. Blech.
Yeah, and then bamboo sticks, what can work too for some of those troublesome branches.
That was my plan, but like, I found that it was just too much fucking work.
It is a lot of work.
Like, real talk.
Yeah, real talk. It's a lot of work. Yeah.
Real to stake.
That's why I like the netting, because you can pretty much trellis net like most personal grows in like 10 minutes. You're done.
That's what I'm saying. Like, the trellis is the way to go, especially one. Okay, that you can get them with the like hooks, and they'll attach to the tent pole corners and stretch it out across the whole canopy. Now,
yeah, and then if you start training early enough too, you're spreading out that plant wide open, so you're going to increase your yield too. You know.
No,
for sure.
I love it.
Now, in my situation, I would not have used the trellis to spread them out at all, because I got 7 fucking plants in my tent. Like, I kind of wanted them to grow up as like almost as narrow as possible. And only use the trellis as like a support system, not to spread them out. Like, that's different kind of theory behind the practice. Know what I mean? So, man, no, I'm literally using branches to support other branches at this point. And
goodness.
Yeah, we're way past the point of no return. And like I said, G3
you can do is you can literally like tie string from like one end of the tent to the other, and like not necessarily have like a trellis net, but you can have like string running up and down that the branches can kind of lean on. You can also, like I said, hang it from the top and tie off the branches. There's, a bunch of different things.
I like the individual, like, kind of yo-yo ties from the top of the tent. I mean,
if you want to,
I like that.
Amazon sells their little called plant yo-yos. I think you can buy like a pack of like 100 for like, I don't know, I want to say like $20 or something.
Now then, where do you attach it to the top of the tent then?
Just right on the pole. Right in the bar.
All right. Okay.
Yep. And then a little yo-yo comes down and it connects to the branch and supports it.
Like a fishing hook.
Yeah.
I've attached plants to themselves before. Like garden wire. As long as if you attach it to the main, as long as you're balanced on each side, that balance will just hold each other off that main stem.
Like using the plant kind of to counterbalance itself and just tying it up a specific way.
You try yelling at them, tell them to stand up
on
straight.
A mass. Yeah.
I mean, what? Are there any other? I mean, I really think that's it. You either got stakes, a trellis net, yo-yos, or I mean, yeah, I think that's it. I think
tomato
that's it.
Cages, Shank mentioned below.
Oh, okay.
Can work.
No, it could. Now I think you're gonna have trouble. The plant's gonna like grow out and kind of bush out beyond the tomato cage. Then I don't know. Tomato cages aren't tall enough for a cannabis plant in most cases. I could be wrong.
For an autoflower.
True. Get a big ass tomato cage.
They're pretty tall. That's the ones that I've seen
some
anyway.
pretty big ones. Yeah.
At least around here, we get them. We like them big around here.
The maters. We know how to grow them right. Hold on one sec. Hey, wife, could you grab that beer that's in the freezer, please?
Back off, Captain. Did you guys hear that?
That's right. She's like, fuck you. No, I keep my beer in the freezer just for like 20 minutes before I drink it. I like it super cold.
Until you get super baked and forget about it and it explodes in the freezer.
Yo, that's happened more than I'd like to admit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
For sure. But yeah, listen, guys, like I've learned my lesson for fucking sure. And like, I don't even like to show what's going on up there because it's so chaotic and it makes me like stressed out when I look at it that like I don't want to interject that kind of tension and just added stress into your lives. Just, I would show my plants, but thank you very much.
It gives you anxiety.
Yeah, it gives me extreme anxiety to show my plants at this point. So, like, without my plants having the support, like, I need the support. It gives me emotional instability for them to have physical instability. It's fucking cycle, man. So I'll never do it again.
Do you find that using a trellis net like blocks off half your grow from you?
Well, say it one more time. I'm sorry.
So if you're using a trellis or scrog net,
Oh, yeah.
it like paralyzes your plants.
You got to keep them where they're at.
The center of your plants, the ones closest to the inside of the tent, get the best light, and the outsides get the worst. But like you can't see the far ends of those plants. I find that being able to move my plants around, even just rotate them, is such a benefit that the trellis nets just are. They just can't hold a candle to that. To be able to
split them in half
see
and have
and
like
work
an aisle.
with all my thing. Yeah.
I like to split them in half and have like a row to be able to walk down and get in between. You know, and that way there you can kind of reach the corners of your tent, generally speaking.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great idea. I mean, unfortunately, I don't think there's a way to do that like in, I don't know.
It's tougher with a tent, obviously.
In a 5x5, yeah. It's like, how would I do that? You got to, I just get like a 5x5, I mean, literally, I get a 5x5 scrog net. Well, I should have on the AC Infinity website using code Cultivation. It's like $15, $20 comes with the, attached at the corner. Of course, the problem is it's going to bow in on the sides of the square. You know what I mean? It's not going to cover like the full tent. How can we solve this problem?
Zip tie.
A couple of ways. You can tie a rope going horizontally, nice and taut, and tie the middle of the trellis net to that.
So just wrap a rope around your tent poles, right?
Yeah.
Or bungee cord or something.
Like
bungee cord, really anything.
Perpendicular
and I don't really recommend
to
the reusable the elastic trellis nets. Just personally,
No, it's a one-off thing, disposable.
They're just so hard to like get off without like damaging your plant. I just want to like just cut away the trellis. I just buy the cheap $3 or $4 ones and call it a day. Like I've never used the trellis net. It takes way too long to try to like weave your plant in and out of the squares while simultaneously not fucking it up.
So I must have mentioned it that I did try to do this. I think my first harvest using like a netting trellis to support my plants. Again, I've done it before. It worked out well. Why didn't I do it again? I don't fucking know, guys. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I don't have an excuse here. I'm just telling you where I'm at. So like I tried to get each branch out from its scrog hole, okay? One by one. I got about maybe halfway through, and I had to give up. Like I got hairy arms, right? Got that Italian genes. So like, listen, I had to shave my arms. That's the only time I've ever had to do that in my life because I could not find a way to get the stickiness from all the trichomes, and my arms were covered in this shit. And it was there for days. I took shower after shower. I used rubbing alcohol. I used peanut butter. I used I just gave up, shaved my arms. I hate to admit that, but it happened.
Yeah, it's just not worth it. It's too much trouble.
So yeah, that's why you got to just it's a Scrognet's a one-off product. You use it, then you chuck it, right?
It's more sanitary that way.
You fuck it and chuck it.
Yeah. I mean, could you imagine if there's something...
I thought that was less sanitary. fucking and chucking.
Well,
Well, it depends
kind
on
of
what
all
you're fucking
the
and chucking.
nasty stuff that can be in the end of a grow.
How do you mean it's more sanitary?
Because you're not reusing it.
Yeah, true.
You know?
True. There's no way to.
I came into a grow on the in somebody's grow, and they had the reusable elastic trellis net, and I just like went to go move it, and then when it snapped back, like dust was flying out of it. I'm like, dude, how long have you been using this? He's like, I don't know, like a little over a year. And I'm like, yeah, no, nope. That's like holding mold spores and PM and just no.
All right, so we got some of our engineers in the chat. Mission in the Green says PVC pipe, 3D printed corner brackets.
Oh, it's great for negative pressure too.
There you go.
Especially
Boom,
for
boom.
bigger tents, give yourself more support. Great for negative pressure.
You can buy
Attach
those.
shit to 'em.
Yep, they're like 3D printed products. I got one. Oh shit, I don't know where mine is. It's upstairs. I don't want to call for the wife again. That's just annoying. I'll show you on the next show. So the thing is, it attaches to the vertical tent pole, and then you can place a PVC pipe, like, and lay that on top in place of like the rope that Monster mentioned.
Yeah, I mean, you don't
so
even need
can-
the brackets for that. If you just drill holes in the end of the PVC pipe, you could just zip tie it to the
boom.
holes.
If you have
I don't like
that,
buying extra shit.
yeah. But in that case, you are kind of making a scrog system that you are going to have to that you're setting up to reuse, right?
I mean,
Well,
just
the
you
PVC,
just leave
but
the sides in.
It's
Cut the
far more
nets off.
sanitary. You can just wipe it down with alcohol, and it's good
Yeah,
as
but
new.
the netting, if you're gonna if you're gonna drill holes in the PVC and then string
No, I think
like
he's just
your
saying,
own
like,
net through.
No, that's not what I was talking about. Like, I was just saying, if you drill holes at the end of the pipe, like, I don't really have anything here to show, but like, say this water bottle was the pipe, right? If you drilled holes on the end, you could zip tie it to the corner poles of your tent, and then you don't need those 3D printed brackets.
So the PVC pipes stay up all the time. They don't come up and go down with your trellis net. They just become a structural feature of your net.
I'll try to
Your
get a
tent,
video. That's how I set up my trellis nets, like with a frame in my rooms, because I don't have tent poles. So I build PVC frames and then I just zip tie the net to the frame. And then in between grows, I wipe down the PVC pipe, and it's good to go.
Cool.
But yeah, you can build frames that'll hold your trellis net into any shape you want. You could build it. I've seen people build individual ones that go over their pots, so they can still move their plants around and have their plant is trellis.
Ooh, I
because the
kind of
plant
like that
itself
idea.
Has its own trellis net.
Yeah.
Fun.
I've seen even, people have like support systems that are built into the pots themselves that like kind of come up in like an umbrella shape and bloom out, and there's all sorts of cool inventions. Now, again, in our chat, Master Yoda has a cool idea. Maybe we could brainstorm on it, guys, because, all right, if you make a U-shaped scrog net in your tent, right, you'll have full access to your plants from the top. When you lollipop the plant before you drop the scrog, there makes sense. So if like you theoretically you put that like the hole of the U facing the door of the tent, so you could like almost walk in to like the center of the plants. I mean, you'd be wasting some valuable tent real estate, but I think because of the issue G3 mentioned, which is that like you're locking your plants in place. They're staying put for the duration of whether it's might be their life cycle, right? Depends how early you put the netting in. You have full access because shit, I can't get back to my the furthest plants in the back, and especially the back middle is the hardest part to get to.
Well,
So
a lot of
if
these tents
I just
open
had
all
an
the way
extra,
around.
say it again.
A lot of these tents open up on all sides. You can get to it
Oh, I
from the
know.
backside.
I know these newfangled tents with 4 doors on each side. Listen, I wish I had one. My tent's got a door in the front and 2 like windows on each side. Okay, but in the back, got nothing. And it's like, yeah, just if I just had that extra like foot or 2 of that hole of the U shape, I could like get in there and access. Yeah, that would be nice. How could we make like a shape out of the scrog netting in our tent? Is there any way we could do that?
Just build a frame with PVC pipes.
pipe, man. I know. All things are possible with
If
PVC.
it doesn't work out, just fill the pipe with sand, put some caps on it, and just beat yourself over the head with it.
Yeah, all right. I see. You just put a few extra corners on, and like
Yeah, you're gonna need some corner pieces.
A few extra angles, a few
And
smaller
personally,
pieces.
I don't recommend using anything smaller than 3/4 to build the frame. 3/4 inch PVC. I like to use the 1 inch. It's worth the extra couple bucks. It's gonna be more sturdier and last longer. Be a little bit more rigid, not quite as wobbly and floppy.
Yeah.
Because when you start going over long lengths, it gets kind of
Just a square,
wobbly.
like a 2-dimensional square frame out of PVC. Like that's all you got. If it's a 5x5, shit, yeah, it's gonna wobble.
I like the 1 inch, but definitely no smaller than 3/4.
Cool. Oh yeah. What?
And you don't even need to glue them in most cases.
What do you mean? You just
Well, they sell PVC glue that you generally don't need it because they kind of press fit in and stay tight enough.
Oh yeah, if you get those 3D printed things.
Well, I was just saying regular PVC.
Oh, the fittings for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even the 3D printed ones, especially too. I have those in my tent. It snaps right into place. Boom. So, all right, cool. We definitely need to support our plants, guys. That's point of the story. Don't let them go. Don't let them go it alone. But yeah, what I wanted to transition a little bit into. Well, we had a question first in the chat. Actually, the Discord. I wish there was a way to do a show index, guys, but I can't do that. He was talking about like, all right, what parts for the Autopot would you buy extra for, Monster? If you were to make an Autopot tackle box for spare parts, how would you do it?
Really, you only need a couple of things. I would have one extra aqua valve itself, just in case you break something, right? Maybe an extra screw that holds the hose on the end of the valve, maybe like one of those, and then a bunch of the extra rubbers, the small rubbers and the big ones.
Yeah, the stoppers.
And that should be all you really need.
You mentioned the T fittings, right?
Yeah, those can be kind of brittle. It wouldn't hurt to have a few of those hanging around because if you step on one, they're toast.
Yep, they snap.
That's what broke on mine. Now they do make a I forget what they call it. It's like the hefty version, like the workman's version of the T fittings. I honestly forget how they framed it.
Choice?
Yeah, it was like made out of like a thicker, sturdier plastic, or even just like metal. I forget how.
That's good to know. I had suggested metal, and actually I was thinking about
saw it. It was like pretty new.
Yeah, buy ones, cry ones. My goodness,
sure.
Even if they're just a little they can't be that much more expensive.
For the four-ways, if they were metal, I would easily pay $10 a piece and be happy with that.
Yeah, especially because you can sanitize them.
I know, right? Because I'm washing them anyway, and that might have been why mine broke down to begin with is just because I put them through the
I had
fucking
suggested
dishwasher.
years ago
You know?
that
Oh
they
yeah,
get
that
heavy-duty
heat.
ones.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's the
that will
heat,
definitely make
the
them
heat
brittle.
from the dishwasher. All
So
right,
those should probably be the two things. You guys should probably hand wash those. Don't put those in the dishwasher.
where are they? Now, I'm never going to be able to find them again. Now, I'm looking on the Autopot website for these
You're
hefty
such a loser.
fittings. Where are these damn hefty ones,
Got our
man?
hopes all up. It was all a dream.
I can't... It was all a dream. Hefty Autopot fittings and magazines. Put a nice beat
my
behind
goodness.
that. That'd be a good track.
Quit your day job.
Well, he looks for those.
I know, huh? I'm sorry, guys. Now you got my mind going. All right, I'm never gonna find it.
That's okay. Yeah, but that's really all I would recommend having around. You know, I've been in the position where like I've not been able to set things up because it's like a tear down cleanup thing, and you like lose one of the rubbers, and you literally can't turn the system on because you're missing that one little 25-cent piece of fucking silicone.
Yeah.
So don't let that happen to you. Definitely have some of those on hand. And I like to replace them once a year anyway, whether regardless or not there, because they get worn out. Like they don't have an infinite lifespan. You know, the valves themselves will last pretty much forever.
If you clean it in the dishwasher, make sure you pull them out before you put them in. Otherwise,
Yeah, and careful with the
You'll lose
dishwasher too. I've melted a few of the aqua valves in certain dishwashers.
really,
Yeah.
top
Yeah.
shelf only.
If they get hot enough, I would probably say turn off like the sanitize feature, because that's where it gets like really hot. But yeah, that's all you really need. Mostly the rubbers. Definitely have extra. Always keep rubbers on hand, fellas.
Always carry them.
But yeah,
Not in your wallet,
definitely.
because that'll make them make them go bad.
You don't want to keep these ones in your wallet either.
So no, that's shit, man. I wish I could find these. Now, did I have a dream? Is this a product that like needs to be made? That like I had a vision about? Fuck, someone find them, send them.
You're the Autopot prophet.
That's pretty funny.
You're calling me. I had a
At
vision.
The shrine of the aqua valve. Oh man. So all right, a little more of a transition, guys. We mentioned on a prior show we wanted to talk about some strains, or maybe just things we've smoked on in our lives that we didn't like. I think it's time to go there. What didn't we like and why? And
Yeah.
I don't want to start.
First
I'm
thing
going
that
to pass.
comes to mind to me is that shit you grew.
Oh, dude, fuck yeah! You're stealing my answer, amigo.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I'm just playing. No, I can think of other shit I
No,
didn't
that's
like.
literally
But
like some of the worst shit I've ever
oh
seen.
my god!
And like,
dude,
see, it's funny. Like, people have passed me hay before, and it's like most of the time this is hay because you're a sucky grower or you can't dry. And I knew that wasn't the case in this scenario, right? And dude, that stuff was fucking terrible.
yeah, it was not good. It was like
Yeah. But
Yeah.
generally speaking, for me, it's like usually it's like some of the candy strains, like heavy cookies, and like it's not my favorite cup of tea. You know, it's not what I'll generally reach for if I have the option.
you're just talking like terps, effects.
Yeah,
know,
but like one strain off the top of my head doesn't come to mind except for that shit that.
Oh my
was
god!
supposedly
So yeah, that
cannabis.
was called
Yeah.
Damascus, and
Yeah, I like
it was
the
not a good one.
Damascus.
I probably had an outlier. It was one from fucking gnome automatics. I
Yeah,
mentioned
because
it.
people spoke
That
highly
was back
of it.
when they
right?
were Mandalorian, right?
Yeah, I think
Before
so.
they changed their name.
Go back and listen to the episode called Defoliation Discussion if you want to hear like the live reacts to it. It was pretty funny. But yeah, it was just effects from everything from bud structure to terp profile to the effects that it gave you, just to like the way it felt, and everything about it like was wrong. Gave you bad vibes. You just wanted to like get far away from it. And I ended up giving it away. So someone I didn't like at all.
That person was probably like, this stuff sucks. I bet you they gave it away, and then they gave it away, and then eventually like it's passed hands like 15 times.
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's still circulating around somewhere. Someone's just like,
Well, because
here, take this.
like we're in a different time, man. If this was 20 years ago, that shit wouldn't have made it a day. You gave it away to somebody, right?
That's the thing. I've smoked way worse in the day, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. No, that stuff wasn't entertaining. But like, if you would have told me that was like the fake weed you order out of the back of a High Times magazine, I would have just been like, oh yeah, definitely. Like, I didn't even think that was cannabis. That shit was terrible.
True.
I love me some cheesy.
My Allure says he's not a fan of the cheese terps. And you know what? I have to agree, I think. I have to agree. Like,
No, I like cheese terps a lot.
Me too.
Personally.
how are we gonna even describe cheesy? Like, because it's funky, it's earthy, plus like I don't know how to describe
like
it. Almost
blue
like
cheese almost.
like a moist quality, like a humid, like a
Can't say
dampness
moist
to
on
the
a
funk.
podcast.
There's some damp with the funk, man. Oh.
No, I almost get like I don't want to say skunky, but like I don't know. I just think of like it's kind of in its own class, cheesy. Like I just think of like there was one I had somebody handed me a while back some Velveeta breath it was called, and the stuff was fucking awesome. Like I kind of liked it, you know.
Cheese and meat terps. That sounds delicious. Fucking a charcuterie.
It's a cheeseburger.
Just call that one charcuterie board. Delicious.
We got to ban that word.
What,
That's another
charcuterie?
trigger word for me.
What are you gonna call?
Charcuterie.
What are you
I
gonna
mean-
call it?
It's a fucking snack board, like with fucking meat and cheese on it. Why are we gonna make up a fancy fucking word? Charcuterie.
That's what it is.
Because
It's
I want to
stupid.
feel fancy when I eat my handheld like meat
I
and
shit you
cheese
not.
cracker
That wasn't-
sandwiches.
If they didn't have,
I want
that
I want to
stupid
feel
name
fancy
for it,
when I eat my
wouldn't-
Lunchables.
dude, that's all it is. You're eating Lunchables. If it didn't have that stupid fucking fancy name, it wouldn't be like all the rage right now. Like everybody's like, look at my charcuterie, and now we're like, I hear it like abbreviated, like my shoot board, like
What?
my charcut board. Like, dude, fuck off.
God.
Stick it up your ass. It's a fucking it's a Odora board with like fucking we don't need to make up a word for this like charcuterie.
It's not made up.
nonsense.
It's
All right.
French.
Someone
Yeah,
just needs
fuck
to
the
do
French.
it's the adult Lunchable appetizer, right? Just like we'll be real about it. We're gonna have a restaurant that just keeps it real. We got the adult Lunchable. We're gonna meat and cheese spread with like a little just one little Debbie brownie with
And why does it have to be on a fucking cutting board? What's the fucking
Cut
what-
the cheese.
because the meat and cheese was cut for you, so you need
was
to
already
know
cut.
that like you know
It's already cut.
not
wasn't
I
it?
don't know. It's like I don't know.
It's not always.
Yeah, and then if you want to feel
don't know,
fancy,
man.
throw some grapes on there. Go fuck yourself. Oh, that's
Oh
pretentious.
my God, it's like
Some,
one of my favorite things to do for
Some
you.
little pickles too. There's little pickles
Yeah,
and
I'm
some
offending you two right now.
mustard. Man, see, dude, I'll get down with cheese and crackers, but I don't need to feel fancy about it.
I'm
I
not
agree
talking
with you.
bad about like the art of having some cheese and crackers and maybe throw some fruit in there, but I just don't like the word charcuterie. Like it's, dude, go fuck yourself.
Do you not like when people say limousine or chandelier or
that doesn't bother me at all.
how about valet or
No, doesn't bother me.
Piece de resistance.
we do get a lot of words from French, but some too just. I hear you, man. I hear you.
Like, it used to be called, like, cheese and crackers, and that's all people would refer to it as. And over the last, like, I don't know, I want to say 5 to 6, maybe 7 years, we're starting to hear that word, charcuterie board. I can pretty much
literally calling it a charcuterie board my whole life.
Now, if you asked, like, 20 years ago, like, 10 people, 20 people, I guarantee you they wouldn't even know what the fuck it is. Now everybody
does. We're just becoming more cultured, my friend.
Oh, yeah.
You will say charcuterie board, or you will be. Fuck if I know. It's like CHARC.
Go fuck yourself.
U with a accent grave. TERIE. I don't know.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Any word that has to have that stupid fucking thing above the fucking E or U vowel, I don't like that either.
It's French, monsieur.
Yeah. Go fuck yourself.
It's like, it makes me think of that. All right, what was that French skunk cartoon that I used to watch? Oh my God, you remember Pepe Le Pew?
Now, look,
oh my God.
He
French
was rather rapey though.
Yeah, the rapey
Yeah, a little bit.
Like, listen, I'm a big fan of a good, like, French baguette, you know? But, like, you know, look, the French pastries, a lot of French food. But, yeah, some of this pretentious bullshit that we choose to use to make up a snack board. Yeah, I know. I'm alone on this hill. Get off my lawn.
He's dying on this hill, my friends. But no, it's all good. It's all good. I don't even know what we were talking about weed wise, man. Let's get back into that. Just shit we didn't like. All right. Someone mentioned cheese. That's how we went off on this tangent.
Yeah.
Look how that happens, man. It's all good.
Demented.
Oh, I am too, man. This neurotoxin, I'm feeling it. So I think, like, we could break it down into two categories, you know? Like, there's stuff I don't like as a grower. There's stuff I don't like as a smoker. Mm-hmm. We can combine those, because I am one person after all, like, and I am going to smoke the weed that I grow. So, like, ultimately, but yeah, if you're gonna categorize, you know, what you don't like about certain strains, maybe it's just like how it grew, and then like stuff you didn't like about how it smoked, or maybe the effects, or maybe the way
as a
it
grower,
cured.
I don't like these heavy sativa haze strains. I think they're a pain in the ass to grow. They're usually pretty finicky, and they're long and lanky, a little temperamental, and they take too goddamn long.
And you know what I'm actually not so much a fan of is haze terps.
Yeah.
They have their place.
Do they?
Yeah, I think they do. There's
They're
a time and a place for them, but it's not all the time.
Like, I don't know how to do, like, cardboardy. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Kind of in their own class. I don't even know how to classify them.
Like,
compare it to something else.
Easy.
They're very subdued, put it that way. Mm-hmm. But yeah, all right. So, like, bud structure, you know, a big thing for growers, for breeders in particular. Now, if you're a breeder, you're going to have a whole other, you know, column in your checklist of maybe just certain things that, like, you know, if you don't like this one thing, it's a no-go. Like, right from the start, you know what I mean? Like, for me, I can, you know, I work with what I get for the most part. It's all, like, it's all part of the spectrum of enjoying whatever comes out of your garden, ultimately, except for that fucking Damascus. Fuck that. But, like, yeah, guys, there's so much, you know? You just have to learn to appreciate all the nooks and crannies.
Yeah, some of them. There are some strains that just suck to grow. At least for me, there are some that I just don't get along with. Like, two I absolutely hated: Mephisto Genetics Hubba Bubba Haze and Walter White. I hated both of them. I hated growing them. I hated working with them. I hated smoking them afterwards. They were just not my strain at all.
Why is that?
Hubba Bubba Haze was just super finicky, so lanky. Not like beautiful ballerina arms. Like,
Sounds like a typical haze.
like waif. She was just, She was really temperamental about temperature. She gave me these tiny, tiny little buds that were like okay, but not a ton of frost, nothing really impressive. It just kind of made my brain zoink out a little bit. Like, I don't know.
I think you got a crappy vino because I grew that plant and it was a monster.
Walter
Yeah,
White?
I mean, other
Both.
people have grown it and loved it.
Yeah.
You know, Walter White, same thing. Other people have grown it and loved it. That's why they brought it back as a BX1. I grew the original twice. I grew the BX1. I hated all of them. Hated them. I just thought they complained about everything. I had tents full of beautiful, happy flowers, and they were the only ones having a temper tantrum. And they're just, I don't know, they're just kind of boring. They're kind of just lemon.
Lemon.
Nothing but lemon. So a lot of people love them, and I've heard that they press great and whatever. I just haven't had luck with that
Not
particular
your
strain,
thing.
so they're just not my thing.
Everybody
We
has
agree
their
to
thing.
disagree. You know,
Yep.
Yeah,
Strains
and it's
can
all-
go do their thing
again.
over there, and I'll do my thing over here.
This is all subjective opinion.
Of course. I'm sure a lot of
three
people are be like,
growers,
Walter
you know?
White's the best thing I've ever grown.
Yeah,
That's
I
awesome
know.
for you. I'm thrilled
Take it
for
or
you.
leave it,
Genetics
yeah.
are crazy. Grower skills are crazy. You know, whatever.
For sure. Maybe, maybe you just got a bad pheno, or maybe
Very possible.
like that just particular strain doesn't do its thing very well in your tent
In my
environment.
environment, exactly.
It could very well be that too.
Yeah, because I love
know.
both of those strains personally, especially Walter White.
Yep, and a lot of people do, and that's why I was really excited to grow them each time, and I just was disappointed over and over with both of them.
Now,
Yeah.
it is funny you mentioned that. Like, I know too, as an autoflower grower, right? When I get a bad plant, I know, like, it might just be a bad pheno. That doesn't mean to write off the whole strain entirely. Like,
Unless
it
it's
could
Damascus.
be, unless it's Damascus. You stole my punchline. Fuck you, dude.
Sorry.
No, I'm just playing. I'm glad you took it because it's so obvious, man. But fucking A. Like the point is, you could grow the plant again and it might respond differently next time. It might be a way different phenotype and you might love it. So
Yeah,
I
it's-
don't know.
they're
You
good
should always
photos,
try
but
it again.
There are too
Yeah.
many strains in the world that
It's true.
offer other possibilities to risk the fact that maybe it is that she just doesn't do well in my environment. I'm not going to change my environment for that one plant.
For
There
sure.
are too many strains in the world, so
It would
we'll
take some
just-
heavy convincing for me to grow something a second time. If I didn't like it the
You're
first time.
you're totally right. And I think that was kind of where I was gonna go with what I was saying. Ultimately, is like it's like a first date. The first time you grow the strain, if you don't jive, like if it's not a great or at least a very good first grow with that plant, like I'm not gonna grow it again. Even though I know, I might have just had a bad night. It might be a totally different person or on a different day.
right.
But fuck, I'm only human, and there's a lot of fish in the sea. I'm gonna move right on to the next fucking person because I don't got time, But it's the same thing with plants. I'm not gonna grow it again if I had a bad experience the first time. It's just how it is, straight up. Now, the one that comes to mind for me, outside of Damascus, is Creme de la Creme from
Oh, really?
Mephisto. Yeah, and now, there's a quality about it that I don't like as a grower, okay? And it checks a grower dislike column category, which is, the only way I can describe it is broccoli. You know what I mean by that?
No.
Very like
don't.
thick, close together, hard to bend, tight internodal spacing during veg, very, very thick foliage coverage too, and it was like very tight plant. You know what I mean? Think about the way a
That's
piece
one
of
that
broccoli
definitely responds
looks.
better to training.
But there was like early in veg, there was no way to do it because the thing was a piece of fucking broccoli. But once it hit flower, it did spread out a little bit, and like. I don't like that as a grower because I can't manipulate it in any way, shape, or form. Like, it just, you do its thing. You have to let it do its thing. I don't like, and I didn't like the phenotype that I got because it tasted like blood. It was the blood phenotype.
Blood broccoli.
The blood broccoli phenotype, yeah.
After an experience like that, you don't want to grow it again.
It smelled like blood. It smelled like old scabs in a jar. Didn't like it. So my wife in particular hated that one, and I remember having it at the time, and I was just like, it was like one of the 4 that I had harvested, and it's like all we had. Just trying to convince her, like, no, it doesn't taste like blood. Tasted like
blood in, blood out.
Fucking like iron and like
oh my gosh, that's
metallic.
when you turn it into edibles or something.
I didn't like it.
Press it or edibles or disguise it in brownies.
Yeah, but and I've grown crosses of that one since, and I think it lends a very like nice bud density to the plant. Nice color to the fade. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It was purple as fuck. The first one I grew that I was like, wow, fade. Holy fuck. This is amazing. For sure. If you like a fade, that'll give it to you. Purple and yellow and orange. It was beautiful. But, just beware the blood pheno.
Ugh. No, thank you. No.
And yeah, like, I don't know, there's not much, again, like, I'm a very accepting grower and smoker. There's not much that's going to make me say, like, never again. Or, like, say just, no, I reject this altogether. But, I don't know. I have my preferences. And I think I've narrowed that down, like, enough about what we don't like. What I do like is what I got in my tent right now. Except for the lack of support, like I mentioned. These skunks and these sours are where it's fucking at, guys.
Those
highly
particular
recommend.
strains, too, don't do well not supported. So I can only imagine the hell you're going through.
What was I thinking?
I don't know if you were thinking this entire grow, to tell you the truth. This whole grow, you've been super reactionary. Your girls have been running the show.
Oh, you ain't lying. You are not lying at all, G3. It's me not, listening to my own advice and having like a plan in place and following through with the plan and all that stuff, man. So, but I've learned a lot of lessons this round, I will say. And again, I pray to God, oh my God, please let me make it to harvest. Please. If there's a God up there, if you're listening, please. Yeah, dude, that's a beautiful cat. Is that a Russian blue?
Have you ever seen it is a Russian blue. She's like so
Cheers
tiny
to that.
too. It's like a very small cat. I don't know if the camera can.
It's picking up like what's coming through on the camera is that blue hue. Why they call the cats a Russian blue. Mm-hmm. Beautiful, man.
Oh, pretty.
She's sweet.
You can hear
She's
her
been trying to climb up my leg the whole show.
Yeah, guys. learn from Captain's mistakes. That's all I can tell you. I fuck up so you don't have to.
Dude, listen, we all make mistakes, you know? Like I said, my greenhouse that I put all that time, effort, and energy into, I just ended up throwing it all away. Nothing was salvageable.
That's painful.
That's so heartbreaking.
That is a painful experience.
It is. So out of the last 5 years, I've had 2 successful harvests, and 2 meh, and 1 nothing.
You mean outdoors?
Overall, yeah. So
Are your
it's a
outdoor
crapshoot.
grows for a purpose other than personal use?
No, it's just I like having that outdoor terp smoke profile.
You just didn't know
Yeah.
if you had like other people relying on you or anything like that, or it's
Nah, not for
like
that shit. I
extra
wouldn't.
layer of,
Outdoor has like
like-
no value, believe it or not. Really, nobody wants
Really?
outdoor weed. No, nope. Indoors where all the money's at.
Why do you think that is?
It doesn't look as good. It's leafier.
Bag appeal.
Yeah, it's bag appeal. Yep. Even though,
You know-
like, if done right, the outdoor stuff will be terpier.
You smoke with your eyes before you smoke with your lungs.
Well, a lot of
they
people
say.
do. That and whatever the THC number says at the dispo. Bruh.
Truth. Yeah, I don't know if we have time for it, man. I wanted to talk about that wicking subject G3 was asking about.
Maybe save it for another episode.
Okay. I think that's smart. Smart. It's a little we have to like look into it before we talk
I need to
about
do a
that,
little-
I
too.
think it deserves more than like the last 5 minutes of the show. That's all.
Yeah. It's a complicated topic. Like, how does soil wick, and what what's actually happening when we rely on that mechanism to water our plants. So there's a little cliffhanger for you folks out there. Future show
For
topic.
those that want to do a little bit more deep dive into it, you're looking for the phrase capillary action.
Damn. That's scientific as fuck, dude. That's almost as bad as someone saying charcuterie board, not gonna lie. I gotcha.
You got me.
I gotcha.
You got me.
I gotcha, man. So, I want to thank everybody in the community, everyone listening, everyone in the Discord, all our Patreon supporters.
Oh yeah, speaking of Patreon supporters, I want you guys to know that look out for an email in the next couple days, sending out a little care package to y'all. We appreciate your support.
Hell yeah.
Yay. We love you guys.
Yeah, it's been deserved. Thank you guys for sticking with us and for all the love and just being part of the
And then
community.
I still will be doing the clone drop I had mentioned. Things just kind of got out of hand with me moving unexpectedly, so I have to resupply my mom room. But once that gets up and running, that'll happen as well. So I know you guys have been asking for it.
Cool. Yeah, he cuts from the monster himself. Be riddled with spider mites.
Yep. 100%.
No,
That's what I'm doing.
No, not at all,
Yeah.
guys. Not at all.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill your garden from the outside.
Feel like a genetically hybrid version of like some type of mite we've never seen.
real
this
quick
before.
though, when you get a cut from anybody, you can just dip that shit in like whatever you want. IPM, rubbing alcohol, sulfur. But if you take a clone and you dip it a couple of times, you're gonna kill anything that's on it, even mold spores, whatever. Don't be don't treat anybody's clones as if they're sacred and you're not gonna have anything happen.
Amen.
Man, the
That's-
last thing you need is like some Trojan planted aphids or spider mites or thrips or
Well,
gosh, you guys don't.
I am of the belief that even somebody that doesn't necessarily have a problem with, like, let's just use spider mites as an example, that I might be able to give you spider mites with a clone from me. That I don't have an outbreak because I treat so often, but like I gave you a clone that might have an egg or something on it. So I always tell everybody, treat that plant as if it might be infected. It doesn't matter who the fuck it came from.
It's true. Quarantine it.
Yeah.
Spray it.
Don't be stupid, man. You don't want to fuck everything up over a cut, you know?
Yeah. Truth. Truth.
What about
Smart.
viruses?
No, the only thing to get rid of viruses is like tissue culture.
Yeah. Unfortunately so. I mean, it's not even something I'm on the lookout for at this point. You know, I think that's like cuttings that have been passed around, like professional grows in legal states, like out west for a long time, tend to have, like, I don't know. That's where I hear the viruses are. I don't know if we're growing from seed. I'm sure like viruses can carry over from seed. I know. Like, listen, I'm sure it could happen. I'm not going to say it will never ever happen. But as a tent grower, I feel more protected from plant like STDs or whatever you want to call them. Like
plant AIDS.
Like I feel like I'm like I'm over here in my corner doing like the missionary position with like girls who I think are relatively clean. So I don't think I'm gonna have viruses. That's kind of where I stand as like a seed grower.
Guys have said
who's I know, man. Only a matter of time till it happens. But I feel like as a seed home grower who's growing, you know, like different genetic stock sort of thing, I feel a little more protected from that sort of stuff. But I could be wrong. Shit, man. We'll leave it at that, guys.
All right.
Think about your plants.
Well, it was a good show. We covered a lot of topics.
We did, and there's more to cover on a future episode. And yeah, love you guys.
Amen to that.
Till
Love
then,
you, man.